Abyssal City is map number 3 between these two contestants, and the winner will advance to Crest. To the right side of Abyssal City, we have the Talon player in red starting for CJ Entus.
CJ Entus 뿅.
Super yellow today.
Yeah. A good performance on Antigua Shipyard, then on Daybreak his opponent was able to take the game. Starting to the left side, it is for Complexity Gaming.
Complexity hurted.
Gas first for this Complexity player. Looking a little bit worn out after last game. And his opponent going for a normal barracks time. We'll see in just a moment if he takes gas or not.
Yep.
On a map like this, I think it's very dangerous to skip the gas.
He's scouting a little bit. He is afraid that Hart might do what we talked about. Marauder aggression with the proxy barracks in the early game is definitely very scary, and this is what Bjorn's looking for.
He's also cutting gas on his build, at least thus far. We may see him go for a similar 15 gas Reaper expand that we saw in game number 1, but to cut gas out of this map in particular can be really scary, I feel, because there's a lot of different ways you can attack. Early on, the natural is exposed. Also, there's a lot of different proxy builds you can face. And without the Viking out, Cloak Banshees can be a big problem here.
Hart is scouted by an SCV, and he is going for a very, for a more straight up build. He's not being too aggressive here. He has the gas, of course, but he's not proxying something. So the question is going to be, what exactly is the idea behind this opening? We'll find out soon. Now he's scouted, and of course Bjorn knows about the timings. He clicked on the gas, he saw how much was mine.
Yeah, and he knows that the factory time here is super fast. Oh, that SCV taking a lot of hits here. Yeah, he will get away. And now what is Hart going to do? Now the SCV is gone, he's got the freedom to go double gas. Reactor goes down instead, in fact. He's going to be doing that Reactor Hellion build with the medevac.
Yep. Double gas for Bjorn, who has his own command center building. Wants to, well, with the expansion that is. Wants to go for a fast double gas now.
And I like the command center in the main after seeing the gas first. It's basically saying, well, what I've done is a slight risk, but I'm going to make it a little bit safer.
I think he's proxying his stuff right now.
Yeah, this would be really smart. This is the proxy location I was talking about before. If you're on the left side, you proxy at the bottom right. If you're on the right side, you proxy at the top left.
There it is. Proxies at the bottom right. We'll have the medevac out very soon. Another SCV is not moving out for Bjorn nor a Marine. So he will not see that there is the starport. And this might hit him hard. If you can do a lot of damage with the early drop, then the game might just end there. It depends all on how you micro your Hellions against your opponent's Marines and SCVs.
Oh, and Bjorn is making a reactor right now with his barracks. That means he's losing a lot of Marine building time.
Yes.
And that means, of course, he will have the better Marine production if he holds, but if he does not have the Marines right when the attack hits, he may not just be able to hold it all.
It's very scary.
He sees no command center on the low ground, and this is scary because he's completely without knowledge of what type of attack he's going to face. He probably thinks it's going to be Banshees. He can have his timing of his Viking out just fine. He doesn't check for proxies, though, and that's a big oversight. On this map especially, I talked about before, I think I've seen more proxies on this map in this matchup than on any other map recently.
You know, the Viking is nearly done, and at this point in time, Hart is moving out with Marines, he's moving out with Hellions. He really wants to put on aggression now, and he will. He's, of course, a bit behind in the overall work account, but this could change very soon. If Bjorn is not ready to defend against this attack, this could be a fast game. 21.
Yeah, he's tripling his army supply.
Yeah, 21 army supply gets 8.
And here comes the first wave of units. The Hellions are going to be so scary. He hesitates. You know, he could have actually committed there, but he hesitated. And this gives Bjorn the time he needs to even make a bunker if he wants to at the front. He's got better production with that reactor now.
Yeah, Hart is pretty timid here. Of course, this is the last game. This is what it comes down to. He waits for his second medevac, and now it's out. So now he can go for a double drop.
Yeah, and he's going to do it. Only one Marine remains on the outside. That is not enough to stop this attack. Here it comes. He runs back. He pulls the SCVs off. The Hellions land here.
The Hellions land Marines too. Hart is starting to lose units, but he has so many Marines here. On the other hand, is Bjorn able to defend? It certainly looks like he is. He still has Hellions. Yeah. He's forcing Hart back.
He was able to... a lot of that engagement was decided by Hellion shots not really connecting very much. When that Hellion fires at one Marine straight up, it's
Yeah.
It's not what you want. And now he's got 2 command centers. He's held here.
The problem... Yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say the Hellions are all gone. He's not going to have any harassment potential anymore.
8 SCVs were killed by Hart, so Byung finds himself a little bit behind in Harvesters, but he has the extra mule, he has the command center ready, he can go for the double SCV production. He is in a pretty awesome spot, especially since Hart now just halfway done with his own command center. Byung is mining from 2 mineral lines. He has a great position in this game.
He has every advantage in the book.
Yeah.
And even as far as gas goes, he's got 450 gas. He wasn't able to spend it because he was so under pressure. He wasn't able to tech up like he wanted to. But now he's got the gas bank that will allow him to do so much more. Even the starport of Hart cannot be used right now. It's floating across the map. That's exactly what this Viking is for. He knows that the timing of this means there was a proxy. There's no way 2 medevacs could have been there that fast otherwise.
This was so well done, and now the army supply is at 30 to 23, and Byung is moving out. He's still producing SCVs, and he will start to be ahead in SCVs in general. But just this army is so difficult to stop for Hart now.
Yeah, he's got so many Hellions to deal with. Really nice micro on them so far. Even the Viking could be landed here to participate in the fight.
Look at this army. There's no bunker. There's nothing. And now he's moving in. He has so many Hellions, and he's putting them to good use. But the Marines, on the other hand, are stuck.
And the tank is doing a ton of damage on the back with its superior range. The last medevac falls, and Hart has actually equalized the supply difference now. He takes a lead.
Byung with not the best unit control here. His Hellions well lined up. The Marines stuck behind the Hellions. Couldn't do too much damage. The tank that you just mentioned, of course, being playing a huge role here.
Byung has a significant lead in air control. He's got 2 Vikings out to none. He's adding 2 factories right now as well. Looks like he wants to go into a mech composition. But Hart, on the other hand, has really pulled out the tech. He's got medevacs going across the map to go for a drop. He's got stim on the way, and he's already got his lead in siege tank count. This drop could be devastating. If the Hellions come in, even with the Hellions to defend, he can just pick up and get out. The Vikings are way out of position. He's got to be so careful with these. Is he gonna try to harass SCVs? I think he just wants to scout.
Yeah, I think he just wants to scout. It wouldn't make too much sense if he wants to harass SCVs with only 2 Vikings, especially since there are still enough Marines and also tanks. But this drop, this is a really dangerous, a very dangerous position for Byung, and he doesn't even know it. If this drop is... I don't think he can scout it. No, he doesn't see it. He has no idea. And now suddenly it's in the middle of his mineral line.
Yeah, and with a tank in here, it's going to be hard to defend with Hellions. He doesn't have stim yet, so this drop is not as scary as it could be. Oh, you might not want to pick up against these Vikings, though. He's going to have to drop back down. He's going to lose 4 Marines in that medevac, it looks like.
He lost a lot. He lost quite a lot. Not only those 2 medivacs, but as you already mentioned, in the medivac itself, he lost the units. This was not successful at all. 17 workers killed, though.
Did he see the factories? That's a really important question.
You know, he killed a lot more workers than I actually saw. I didn't realize that they were this clumped up.
We'll shut down there as well. But yeah, it's 47 to 39 right now. Right now, the game that we are seeing is almost like watching 2 Rams hit their heads together, because they're both players are just being so aggressive, and both aggressions have been basically shut down. So much add-on move arounds here for Byung as he continues his Hellion production. He's up to now 12 Hellions. No pre-igniter. There it is. Just starting. And the composition is arguably better for Byung in the long run. Will Hart be able to actually use his more mobile force?
Hart tries to get a 3rd base now. He's going for siege mode a lot slower than Byung does. And Byung is once again posturing around on the map. It looks like he wants to find a bit of an opening, just poking. And he still has 1 unit to the bottom left, so he will see if there's a 3rd base. The same is true for Hart, who has one of his Marines to the top right.
Such great scouting from both players. Hart knows that he's up against a mech competition. He wants to open up all choke points. That's why he's killing those rocks right now. And his command center is actually almost done. It's at the natural. It's not at the 3rd base. So Byung doesn't know about this. He has not started his 3rd. When you go for a mech composition like this, you need a 3rd base as soon as possible because you want to be able to make those gas-heavy units.
Yeah, you need those 2 additional refineries. Without them, it's so hard to just rebuild your army. 110 supply block here for Hart. Quite significant, by the way. He just now starts double supply before. That's definitely an oversight.
Very well controlled by him, though, sending Marauders all across the map so that the Hellions don't get a run-by off on him.
Haul down extra supplies. It's of course unfortunate for Hart.
Call down supply, for those who are new to the game, is an ability you can use instead of using the mule, so you basically trade faster minerals to get a depot. You save 100 minerals at the end of the day, but you want to have the minerals as fast as possible. He picks off a Hellion here.
It's the I messed up my macro.
Yeah, basically it's all right, I need these units, I want them now, rather than the money now.
It's the emergency button that you have as apparently, yeah?
It's sometimes really appropriate to use and sometimes not. If you hit your depots correctly, then most players will not use it because it's not 100% necessary.
Hart has a great advantage in the worker counter. With the third base that he's getting, this means that he will be able to saturate the third immediately. He has to take down this one unit to the bottom left first though. And here we have once again the worker supply, just in order to highlight it again, 63 against 43. Yeah, the Blue Flame Hellions doing some damage, and well, Bjorn is moving across the map, but there are so many siege tanks for Hart, and he has siege mode, so he can set up a defense that Bjorn will not be able to break.
Yeah, but Bjorn is going to have to decide what he wants to do now, because he's going to fight. Is he going to actually siege up? He doesn't. Oh, this is actually so bad for Hart. He may have a bunch of supply in those SCVs, but this is not a fight he can win.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Those siege tanks are way too exposed. All of them dead, and now suddenly we have Hart down 30 supply, no siege tanks whatsoever, and this arm, he might lose everything here.
Basically, all that Bjorn has to do is go and chase this isolated force. If he actually comes from two sides, he will trap and kill it. Once he kills it, he can go kill the third base.
And look at it, this is exactly what he does. He chases down the army, everything dies. The last Marauder is not going to do too much either. Takes another Hellion down, but that's about it. Now 30 supply advantage for Bjorn.
And what good is Elite and Workers if you can't saturate a third base, if you can't use full saturation, and you don't have any army to back it up? It's no good at all.
The tank count is 3 to 10. What are you going to do with 3 siege tanks? If Bjorn decides to commit here, he will at least be able to force the third off again.
He's got another point of pension available on this Raven as well. The Hellions charge in first. He takes out the medevac. The point of pension will be dropped.
And now he's going for the assault mode. At least he could. This could be game ending, but Hart doing a lot of damage, not regardless. He's actually tied the supply up once more.
Well, a lot of his supply is in the workers. Now he's pulling them. He's going to take out these Vikings. That's a lot of damage that Bjorn will lose. He picks them up. Really well done here.
Army supply is 40 to 60 in favor of Bjorn. As Wolf mentioned, the worker count is much better for Hart, which is of course great for his economy, but pretty bad for his army and for his defense.
Yeah. Oh, dropping mules on siege tanks here, but so many of those tanks were in tank mode, it didn't work. Hart is in dire straits here. The SCVs will become his army in a few moments. The question will become, when does he pull them? How patient will he be? His third base is still alive. It's still under attack.
Vikings have to be careful. There are submarines sticking around, so they can't be too cheeky.
He's doing the Viking leash. He's got his Vikings attached to his siege tanks. He's trying to bait those Marines in. Bjorn is actually walking one of his tanks in. A bit of a mistake here. He will lose one. And we do see a little bit of a drop. He picks off a siege tank from the right side. Really nice execution here by Hart. So patient.
Yeah, Hart just trying to make his defense work, but it's so difficult for him, especially since he's once again down in the overall supply. Here come the SCVs, as we already predicted earlier. He has to use them, but they line up against the Blue Flame Hellions. It's never a good idea.
Never a good idea, but he's got no choice. This is Complexity's Hart's last stand here in Code A. He loses everything. He does not break the contain, and that is going to be it.
120 supply against 50 for Hart. Tried, but he failed. He's down to 26 Harvesters against 46, even with the triple command center. This is not going to change. He is losing one of his bases now, and Bjorn wins the game. GG. Bjorn advances to Code S. Congratulations, the CJ and Display successful here.
A lot of fans really happy for him.
They're actually so funny.
Well, that was really well done. He went for the mech composition. He actually was patient with it. He actually did a mech composition for so long on 2-base. Nobody ever really does that. And he just used the minimal income he had to get those Hellions out. The Hellions won him so many of those fights. And even in the last fight, where worker supply becomes army supply, and that one moment where you have to break out, he wasn't able to break through because the Hellions were he was lining up against Hellions, and also the siege tank split was insane.
Yep. It was just way too much. Those SCVs were gone in the blink of an eye. We had Blue Flame and the siege tank splash, just way too much. And well, right now we have a last game, a last best of 3 for the day in this third round of Code A, and it is going to be I would say, the most anticipated game today.
Yeah, I think so, man. It's going to, of course, be a live versus creator. Yeah. That is going to be awesome. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Get all your friends in here. Tune in to watch this final match, the conclusion of today. See you guys in 5.